Hi, this is Kay, and welcome to Kay's Nest. Today I am going to show you how to make my rice noodle. So I love a rice noodle for multiple reasons. One reason is they are very easy to make. You can take a pack, dump them in a pot of hot water without even boiling the water. You can even use cold or room temperature water and they cook right there in the pot without having to put them on the stove. Another reason I like the rice noodle is my kids enjoy them. My 1-year-old and my 3-year-old cannot get enough of them. A third reason is that you can pack them with vegetables. My 1-year-old and 3-year-old, they're not the hugest fans of vegetables. To get them to eat more vegetables, I simply fill my noodles with more vegetables than the recipe actually calls for. And the final reason is, as you are at home on quarantine, you'll find yourself not able to, or maybe not wanting to go to the grocery store as much as you typically would. So with this recipe, you can really tailor it as you like. You can pick whatever vegetables you have. If you only have purple cabbage, you use that. If you have broccoli, you can use that. If you don't have eggs, don't add eggs. This recipe you can do so many things with. So let's go in my kitchen and get cooking. So this is how the pork chops look after sitting in the marinade overnight. The marinade is very simple. I used onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of sazon completa, or really any all-purpose seasoning, some cayenne pepper if you like a bit of a kick, which I do, and then red pepper flakes. And then I poured in some of this Iron Chef sauce, and I'll show you all the ingredients, but I really like that to sit in and soak overnight. My next step is to take this and add it to the air fryer. First, begin by chopping up some cabbage. I used about 1/8 of a cabbage here. If you want, include some more types of cabbages. In total, I used about a cup of everything, rather 1 or 2 cups, depending on your preference. On this day, I was not trying to sneak in as many vegetables as I typically do. Here, I have about 1 cup of carrots, and I'm just going to pour that cup of carrots into my bowl with my other vegetables. Take a couple of pieces of ginger and peel off the skin and then slice them down very finely. I have about a tablespoon of ginger in my mixture here. If you've noticed that my cutting board is peeled, kudos to you. It actually was destroyed in my dishwasher. The backside is almost completely peeled off. I tried to purchase another one, but with the quarantine going on, the stores are really depleted of products, and now that they're open, it's just hard to find one. Next, take a stalk of leek and slice that into tiny pieces. So here I'm slicing up about 1/4 of a red bell pepper. A green bell pepper or whatever you have on hand will work just fine. Next, chop up 4 garlic cloves. Wait, do not add that to your mix just yet. Instead, put them in a bowl off to the side. So here I poured in 1 tablespoon of sesame oil and another tablespoon of vegetable oil. and I'm just getting the oil on all surfaces of my pan so I can dump in my vegetables.
For the next step of the recipe, you are going to need 1 pack of rice noodles. We're going to prep these while our vegetables cook on the stove. You also need a pot of hot water. It doesn't have to be boiling, just hot tap water is fine.
The noodles will sit in this hot pot of water for a few minutes, and while this is softening up, I'm going to chop up my pork chop and then set my vegetables to the side. Let's take care of the pork chop now. So here's the pork chop. I cooked about 3/4 pound in my air fryer for 20 minutes. If you don't like your food as well cooked as I do, maybe set it for 17 minutes and it will be just fine. This is just right for me though. All right, so we've sauteed our vegetables. Now that we're almost done, we add the garlic blast. You do that so that you do not burn your garlic. Garlic cooks so very easily. As we can see here, the rice noodles have really loosened up, so I can dump everything out and then lay them across my cutting board for just a few minutes until I'm ready to fry everything. All right, so here's the fun part. I added my noodles, vegetables, and the pork into the wok. Now I'm mixing everything together. I wanted a little bit more time to mix everything, so I took it off the burner for a little bit. Okay, thank you, baby. So let's mix everything in it and then add some sauce. In a previous video, I did a pantry organization, and when I was putting things together, I organized my Asian items so that whenever I go to cook my meals, I just grab one tray. I don't have to dig around my whole pantry to find just what I need. So if you haven't done that, I would recommend that you group like items together.
We're in the home stretch here. We're almost done with our wonderful rice noodle dish. We're adding sauces. So the first sauce we're going to add is a soy sauce. Just drizzle some over that. I don't measure my sauces, as you are going to see. That's probably maybe 2 tablespoons worth of soy sauce. I apologize for this horrible view, but what you're looking at is a bottle of sweet cooking rice wine. The brand doesn't matter. Just drizzle some of that in there and it adds a nice sweet flavoring. Okay, we are going to go in with some rice vinegar and then stir that in. One thing I forgot to mention is that to make this all go faster, you can buy pre-chopped veggies in most grocery stores. That saves you a lot of time. And we are now going to go in and add some oyster sauce. This can also be of any brand, but this extra step really just adds in some additional flavor. Now mix everything up really well. Fish sauce, I promise. There are no more sauces, but this is absolutely a step you cannot skip. So go ahead, pour some fish sauce on top of all of your noodles and continue mixing. At this point, you can go in and add some more sesame sauce. We used sesame oil when we greased our pan, but I'm just going in and I'm adding some more sesame oil at this step so that we get some more of that really rich flavor back in there. At this stage, I like to add in some white pepper just for a bit more seasoning. Now I'm sprinkling on some toasted sesame seeds. After doing this, I will put my wok back on the stove and continue to cook my food for about 3 more minutes, and then that's it. Please click like and subscribe.